All right, everybody, ready for a deep dive into a future that's, well, bright.
I think I've got my sunglasses handy.
No, but seriously, we're talking about a world where your coffee cup reminds you about that dentist appointment, or your grocery bag doubles as a mini-movie marathon on the way home. That's the kind of wild future Inuru is painting, and their paintbrush, low-cost OLED technology.
Bold claims need some serious unpacking though, right?
Absolutely, and that's our mission today. We've got their press releases, tech specs on something called ELF. Sounds more Santa's workshop than Silicon Valley. Plus, of course, some healthy skepticism from industry analysts. We want to know, is Inuru about to revolutionize how we see the world? Or is this just a case of too good to be true? Let's start with the basics, though, for anyone who hasn't geeked out about OLEDs before.
Right, gotta have that baseline.
So we're talking those gorgeous, super thin screens on high-end phones, TVs, you know, the ones that make you want to cry, they're so sharp. That's OLED organic light-emitting diode. Problem is, it's not cheap.
Yeah, the manufacturing process has always been the bottleneck. Complex, multi-layered, expensive. It's kept OLED kind of niche, luxury market stuff.
Enter Inuru, and they're basically saying, hold my beer, we're about to make OLEDs as easy as hitting print.
Okay, maybe not quite that simple, but the core concept is fascinating.
Right. Imagine printing lighting onto anything, and I mean anything. Inuru's website shows everything from pill bottles.
Which, by the way, is a whole other rabbit hole we'll get into.
Oh, absolutely. But we're talking clothes that light up, food packaging that tells you when it's gone bad, billboards that change based on who's walking by.
It's a marketing dream, if they can pull it off. Or a dystopian nightmare, depending on your view of targeted ads, I suppose.
There's that, yeah. But ethically iffy advertising aside, the potential applications here are mind-blowing. Let's dig into their Medipack idea for a sec, because that one really caught my eye.
The implications for healthcare are huge if it works as advertised.
So picture this. You've got a prescription bottle, right? But instead of just a label, the bottle itself lights up. Reminds you when to take your meds. Maybe even flashes a warning if you've exceeded the dosage or if the bottle's been tampered with.
Especially for seniors or anyone managing multiple medications, that level of interactive guidance could be huge for safety and adherence.
And it's not just about reminders. Imagine dynamic instructions that adjust based on your needs.
Right, like if there's a temperature-sensitive medication, the packaging could actually change color, telling you if it's been stored improperly.
Okay, now that's just smart. But how much of this is still pie in the sky versus, actual tangible tech?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And this is where that ELF technology comes in.
All right, so riddle me this. What's thinner than a human hair, can light up in any pattern imaginable, and might just revolutionize everything from fashion to pharmaceuticals?
Sounds like a setup for a really nerdy joke.
It kind of is, except the punchline is it might actually be real. It's Inuru's ELF, short for electroluminescent film. And it's basically this crazy, thin, flexible film that acts as a light source. They're talking about integrating it into clothing, onto paper, even into those Medipacks we were discussing.
And this is where the printing analogy gets really interesting. If they can produce this ELF material cheaply and apply it using a process similar to printing.
We're talking about a potential paradigm shift in manufacturing.
Exactly. Suddenly, you're not limited to rigid screens or bulky lighting setups. You can incorporate light and information display into almost any surface imaginable.
I'm already envisioning a world where my t-shirt has a scrolling stock ticker.
And mine just says, send coffee. But in all seriousness, the potential for creativity and innovation here is enormous.
It does make you wonder about the potential downsides, though. We've talked about the ethical implications of personalized marketing, but what about the environmental impact? Are we about to drown the world and light up coffee cups that end up in landfills in a year?
Valid concern. But Inuru is very upfront about their sustainability claims.
Right. Less material usage than traditional lighting, lower energy consumption, and they're saying these OLEDs are recyclable.
Which, on paper, is a huge win for OLED technology in general. Traditional lighting often involves mercury, a major environmental hazard. OLEDs don't. Plus, the energy efficiency of OLEDs is tough to beat. But
there's always a but, right?
It's one thing to claim sustainability, another entirely to prove it. We need to see life cycle analyses, transparency about their supply chains, and concrete data on the actual environmental impact of production, use, and disposal.
So a healthy dose of trust but verify is in order.
Absolutely. Inuru might be onto something game-changing, but it's crucial to approach their claims with a critical eye. We need to separate the hype from the reality.
All right, so let's wrap this up with a big open-ended question for our listeners. Assuming Inuru delivers on its promises, what kind of future are we looking at? A world bathed in light and information, where every surface tells a story, or a world grappling with information overload and the potential downsides of constant stimulation? It's a future worth thinking about, and we want to hear your thoughts. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive, but the conversation doesn't end here. Head over to our website, share your thoughts, and let's keep this discussion going.